Or if I had to tell you something, I would just let this go. I'm just I'm just so done hearing about it. Okay? And you're gonna ask me, well, why aren't you crying about this? Well, why? Because it, hon, when I've understood war, and I was very young, and I was never in a war, let me tell you something about books. I've read multiple instances what war was about, what goes on in war, what people do in war, and all this other stuff. We're talking about the Holocaust, we're talking about Daniel's story, we're talking about what is it? Watching just videos on everything. Reading the Bible does it too. And reading about different things about that happen in real life and the Civil War. So everything that you told me about these gruesome stories, the whole thing to me is not even that of a gruesome story because I've read books. As early as I think elementary school, I read about Martin Luther King, and that's why none of this stuff hardly even affects me. I mean, you have to think my grandfather was incesting me. Now, that doesn't really make you, what was the word? It doesn't make you feel as, how do you put this? Like, you feel like you haven't really suffered anything. You really don't feel like that you're seeing any different from this one. So that's why I was like, well, this really doesn't affect me at all. Because I've read about it before. I've read about discrimination. I've read about multiple different things, and it's not anything different to me at all. I mean, when people come up to me and say, "Well, you saw a boy commit suicide in when he was 17 years old." Well, sweetheart, I see and I see it. But I didn't automatically start crying. I didn't go into a complete sat like a breakdown. Sweetheart, I've been seeing this stuff for years. So, like, take for example, we have the Russian Federation. Well, that was probably that woman over there. She's saying, well, I'm going to conquer the earth. And it's like, well, you already know that that doesn't make any sense. That's why this whole thing with like what they were doing was not anything different. I was never highly even affected. So, like burning somebody into a box or all this stuff to me is like second nature when I'm seeing all this stuff. It didn't even matter how many times that this stuff ran by or somebody talked about it. It was like, well, this stuff just makes me, you know, not really that broad. I've these people who act like that I'm just a fragile, no, I've heard it, I've read about it. It's multiple, the same thing like the pre-cannibalism on a mountain. I've heard about it multiple times. So this stuff is nothing new from my childhood at all. I've heard it all.